Good morning and welcome. I am Stephen C., and you are at Steve C's on TikTok. It is Saturday, June 21st, 2025, 11 a.m. Central Time, and this is our daily Course in Miracles review, where we take a look at the lesson of the day and the corresponding portion of the text. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Please remember to like the live, share the live, and follow this account. If you miss any of our discussions or would like to see any of our previous discussions, which started on January 1st, 2025, today is day 172. Lesson 172 today, the 172nd day of the year. You can go to our YouTube channel at Stevo Sees, STEVOSEES, on YouTube, or there is a link in the bio, and there is over 140 hours of these types of discussions using the Course in Miracles as a framework and a launching pad for our metaphysical discussion, our self-inquiry, our intention to wake ourselves up collectively and individually, and return ourselves to the truth, to the remembrance of who and what we are. So thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Remember to like the live, share the live, and please leave your comments. All comments are welcome. I like to begin each of these reviews, each of these sessions, by reviewing the introduction to the Course in Miracles. Very succinct 2 paragraphs that will help us find the correct resonance in order to approach this material, in order to encounter it from a palatable orientation. The introduction to the Course in Miracles says this is a Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear. But what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way: nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So again, very focused statement, introduction to the Course in Miracles. Claim is that this universal curriculum is a required course. Everyone has to learn. It is part of the game that everyone has to learn the universal curriculum. This, the Course says, is only one of the forms in which the universal curriculum is presented. There are many forms in which the universal curriculum is presented throughout time and space. However, this particular form, in a Christian framework with Christian terminology, is specifically designed for this place and time, this Western consciousness, this global consciousness, this Anglo-American perspective, if you will, that quote-unquote rules the planet, is one of the dominant thought structures upon the planet. The Christian extension, one of the Abrahamic thought systems, the Abrahamic thought system that covers the planet. And so it is presented in that form in order to explicate the universal curriculum, the universal teaching, esoteric Christianity, if you will, esoteric metaphysics. And this is very deep and profound metaphysical presentation of the truth. The purpose and the function of the Course in Miracles is to help us awaken from a dualistic consciousness into a non-dual perception of the world, of ourselves, of everyone, and everything. And so today, Saturday, June 21st, we will take a look at Lesson 172. Lesson 172 is part of review number 5, a review which the Course in Miracles undertakes approximately at this point, and in fact, at this point, every 20 lessons. So it's a 10-day review with reviewing 2 of the previous lessons each day. And I'd like to start by reading the introduction to the review, which again sets us up and prepares us for the review, and also sets us up to become aware that the review itself is a preparation for the next portion of the text, the next set of exercises. And so there is a step-by-step design to the Course in Miracles in order to help us progress to a more enlightened, light-filled, love-filled perception of ourselves, a deeper forgiveness of ourselves and each other, a deeper forgiveness, overcoming, and mastery of ourself, our lower self, our carnal mind in this world. So it begins by saying we now review again. This time we are ready to give more effort and more time to what we undertake. We recognize we are preparing for another phase of understanding. We would take this step completely, that we may go on again more certain, more sincere, with faith upheld more surely. Our footsteps have not been unwavering, and doubts have made us walk uncertainly and slowly on the road this course sets forth. But now we hasten on, for we approach a greater certainty, a firmer purpose, and a surer goal. So we are increasing our discipline, our commitment, our devotion to ourself, to our higher self, to the truth within us, a higher self, capital S, the true self, the universal self, the unified consciousness, the self that is shared, a distributed self, if you will. So the next 2 paragraphs are a prayer written in the Course in italics. It says, "Steady our feet, our Father, let our doubts be quiet, our holy minds be still, and speak to us. We have no words to give to you. We would but listen to your word and make it ours. Lead our practicing as does a father lead a little child along a way he does not understand. Yet does he follow, sure that he is safe because his father leads the way for him." So do we bring our practicing to you. And if we stumble, you will raise us up. If we forget the way, We count upon your sure remembering. We wander off, but you will not forget to call us back. Quicken our footsteps now, that we may walk more certainly and quickly unto you. So we are increasing our pace. The Course in Miracles shares the idea, mentions the idea, puts forth the idea that this particular course is a time-saving device. And so we are quickening our pace. Course in Miracles helps us, the miracle helps us to collapse time, to save time, to bring the end of time and space nearer until we live in the holy instant, completely enveloped in this moment of now. Out of our heads, more grounded, more embodied, more rooted in the eternal, in the unchanging, in the perfected. This is our goal. This is our function. This is the game of life. And we accept the word you offer us to unify our practicing as we review the thoughts that you have given us. This is the thought which should precede the thoughts that we review. Each one but clarifies some aspect of this thought, or helps it become more meaningful, more personal and true, and more descriptive of the holy self we share and now prepare to know again. The thought is God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. This self, capital S, alone knows love. This self alone is perfectly consistent in its thought, knows its creator, understands itself, is perfect in its knowledge and its love, and never changes from its constant state of union with its Father and itself. So, unified consciousness, oneness with the source, oneness with the thought that is God, the vibration that is our source, the vibration that is true creation. The beautiful, the true, and the good, as Plato said. And it is this that waits to meet us at the journey's ending. Every step we take brings us a little nearer. This review will shorten time immeasurably if we keep in mind that this remains our goal. And as we practice, it is this to which we are approaching. Let us raise our hearts from dust to life as we remember this is promised us, and that this course was sent to open up the path of light to us and teach us step by step how to return to the eternal self we thought we lost. Jesus continues and says, I take the journey with you, the Christ consciousness, the I am presence takes the journey with us, for I share your doubts and fears a little while, that you may come to me who recognize the road by which all fears and doubts are overcome. We walk together. I must understand uncertainty and pain, although I know they have no meaning. Yet a Savior must remain with those he teaches, seeing what they see, but still retaining in his mind the way that led him out and now will lead you out with him. God's Son is crucified until you walk along the road with me. My resurrection comes again each time I lead a brother safely to the place at which the journey ends and is forgotten. I am renewed each time a brother learns there is a way from misery and pain. I am reborn each time a brother's mind turns to the light in him and looks for me. I have forgotten no one. Help me now to lead you back to where the journey was begun, to make another choice with me. So you can see that this presentation of Christ, these words of Jesus, these words of the I am presence are giving a little bit of a different interpretation to the Christian dogma. It's a little bit different. We're being asked to think a little bit differently about what this journey is, about our relationship to our higher self, the Christ mind, the truth, what our relationship is to it. We walk together. We experience misery and pain together. The crucifixion continues until we resurrect with Christ, until the second coming, if you will, which is a transformation of our own consciousness, which is a participatory salvational energy. We must participate. Continuing, Jesus says, release me as you practice once again the thoughts I brought to you from her who sees your bitter need and knows the answer God has given her. The Holy Spirit here, wisdom, Sophia, Shekinah. Together, we review these thoughts. Together, we devote our time and effort to them. An effort to these thoughts, an effort to integrate these thoughts, an effort, a necessary effort, a discipline of the mind to recall these thoughts, remember these thoughts, embody these thoughts, become these thoughts. Again, the thought here, God is but love, and therefore so am I. Together, we teach this thought to our brothers. God would not have heaven incomplete. It waits for you as I do. I am incomplete without your part in me, and as I am made whole, we go together to our ancient home, prepared for us before time was and kept unchanged by time. Immaculate and safe as it will be at last when time is done. So nothing has changed. Our true state has not changed. Heaven has not changed. It is available to us through the practice of these thoughts, through the acceptance of this way of thinking, this esoteric Christianity, this esoteric Buddhism, this esoteric Islam, if you will, the ancient wisdom mystery school teachings, the alchemy of the mind, the alchemy of consciousness, the transformation of consciousness from the leaden thoughts of the lower chakras to the golden thoughts of the crown chakra and the higher chakras. Let this review be then your gift to me. For this alone I need, that you will hear the words I speak and give them to the world. You are my voice, my eyes, my feet, my hands, through which I save the world. So again, here, a little bit of a different interpretation, a little bit of a different spin on the idea of the second coming. Here, Jesus says, you are my voice, my eyes, my feet, my hands. through which I save the world. Yes, you are the church. You are the physical representation, or you possess a physical representation that can be used to communicate to the world, to your brothers and sisters. Self from which I call to you is but your own. I am in you, you are in me, we are in the Father. A unified Trinity. Myself, my higher self, Christ consciousness, and the Creator, one. One for all for one. To Him, to the source, to the Creator, we go together. Take your brother's hand. For this is not a way we walk alone. In Him, I walk with you, and you with me. Our Father wills His Son be one with Him. What lives, but must not then be one with you? God is but love, and therefore so am I. Yet are the words but aids and to be used, except at the beginning and the end of the practice periods, but to recall the mind as needed to its purpose. We place faith in the experience that comes from practice, not the means we use. The words are not the end. This workbook is not the end. This workbook, this review, is the means. The means of accomplishing an experience, of experiencing an experience, of receiving an experience. We wait for the experience and recognize that it is only here conviction lies. We use the words and try again to go beyond them to their meaning, which is far beyond their sound. Sound grows dim and disappears as we approach the source of meaning. It is here that we find rest. Okay, so that is the introduction. I did skip a couple paragraphs. You can go to ACIM.org, Foundation for Inner Peace, which has the entire Course in Miracles online, free for the taking. And you can go to Review 5 and read the introduction for yourself. I would encourage it to go over this material yourself independently. Meditate on it, take it in, contemplate it, think about it, write songs about it, write about it, talk about it. So now to lesson 172, which is the review of lesson 153 and 154. As I said earlier, you could go to the YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. You can review our discussion about lesson 153 or lesson 154. It's over on the YouTube channel at Stevo Seeds on YouTube. So lesson 172 today, God is but love, and therefore so am I. Lesson 153, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. Check out lesson 153, a very important lesson in the workbook 153. And also check out lesson 135. If I defend myself, I am attacked. If I defend myself, I am attacking. There is no separation. The seeming opposites are the same, two sides of one coin, defense and attack. If I seek to defend myself, defend my position, change your mind, If I defend myself, I believe in the idea of attack. I believe in the concept of attack. And this is a problem. This is the foundation of the idea of separation or duality, that there are opposites which are in opposition to each other. The non-dual consciousness, a unified state of mind, a peaceful state of being, does not perceive opposites, does not react to opposites, does not believe it can be attacked. So this is quite a leap in consciousness, quite a leap for the ego, which, by the way, the ego consciousness, the egoic consciousness, cannot make that leap, cannot make that connection, cannot accept that idea that if I defend myself, I am attacked, and in my defenselessness, my safety lies. And it does talk about that in lesson 153. Go read it for yourself, please. It points out that defenselessness, like a great samurai warrior that never needs to draw his sword, because everybody knows if that great samurai draws his sword, it's game over. There is no game. So defenselessness is ultimate strength. Nothing can attack the truth. So in the introduction to the Course in Miracles we read earlier, nothing real can be threatened. The truth cannot be threatened. Truth is always the truth. We can wander away from the truth. We can turn our back on the truth in consciousness. We can walk away from the truth, but the truth is not affected. We simply fall asleep, hypnotize ourselves, delude ourselves into believing there is something else besides the truth. Now, in addition to lesson 153, lesson 154 says, I am among the ministers of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. 154, I am among the ministers of God. I am administering love. I am an administrator of love, of peace, of happiness, of joy. That is my function. You don't have to be a minister with a frock and a coat and a collar. Just be who you are. Be your authentic self. Be your true self. And thus you are among ministers of God. Be your authentic self so other people can look at you as an example, as an exemplar of what it's like to be your authentic self, to enjoy life, to participate fully, to go from glory to greater glory, to lead an extraordinary life outside of time and space, here and now, in this holy instant, outside of time and space, unaffected by the economy, unaffected by politics, unaffected by wars, disasters, disease, illness, death in any form. The big D has no power over you. because you are not a body. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me, as a thought in the mind of God, as spirit. What is that? Well, that is what we are discovering. That is what we are remembering. That is where we are headed. I am spirit. What does that mean? Experientially, here, now, in this holy instant. So again, God is beloved, and therefore so am I. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. If I live, move, and have my being in the mind of God, I need no defense. I am safe. I am secure. I am untouchable. God is beloved, and therefore so am I. I am among the ministers of God. That is my purpose. That is my function. God is beloved, and therefore so am I. So that is the lesson of the day and an introduction to the lesson of the day. So we are preparing ourselves, remember, for a deeper appreciation of our quest for the Grail, of our Grail quest. A deeper appreciation of the value of waking up. A deeper appreciation of meaning, real meaning. The meaning of the truth, the meaning of joy, happiness, divine love, union with the source. God is beloved, therefore so am I. A deeper experience of it. Now to the text, the corresponding portion of the text, the 172nd section of the text of the Course in Miracles is from chapter 20, section 2. It's called the Gift of Lilies. And if you were with us yesterday, the Course here yesterday, previous section began to talk about Easter. We discussed that fact seemingly out of sequence, seemingly a little bit off in time and space, but time and space is meaningless. Right here, right now, we can celebrate Easter. We can celebrate the resurrection. We can celebrate the attunement, the atonement, the at-one-ment. We can celebrate it this week, Easter week. We can celebrate it right now. We can celebrate it every day. We can celebrate our resurrection and the resurrection of the remembrance of our oneness with our source every morning when we wake up. We can be reborn every morning when we wake up. An entirely new world. Declare it, recognize it when you wake up in the morning. This is an entirely new world. Go check out what Bashar has to say about that. Changing worlds, he claims, millions of times a second. Interesting concept, interesting permission slip, interesting change of our point of view. An infinite succession of timelines, moments of entirely new worlds, different worlds. If one thing changes, everything changes, no doubt. So the Gift of Lilies, we are continuing with the theme of Easter here. let's see what the Course has to say. First sentence says, look upon all the trinkets made to hang upon the body or to cover it for its use. See all the useless things made for its eyes to see. Think on the many offerings made for its pleasure, and remember, all these were made to make seem lovely what you hate. So you have to understand, you have to be familiar with what the Course is saying about the body as a symbol of the big D, the symbol of separation. So if it is not love, separate from love, it becomes hate. So you have to understand what the Course is saying here in this context. Would you employ this hated thing to draw your brother to you and to attract his body's eyes? So talking here about the carnal mind, the lower man, carnal man, the lower consciousness, which awakening is the mastery of these energies, these carnal energies, the mastery of those energies and the raising of the Kundalini to crown chakra, to the third eye, to the pineal gland. Raising the energy, the coiled energy at the base of the spine to the top of the spine, to the brain. Okay, the raising of energy, the raising of a frequency and a vibration. It's that simple. It's that direct. It's just not that easy. So the question is, will I employ this thing I hate to attract someone else's eyes so that I can enter into a special relationship with them? Special relationship has a special definition in the Course in Miracles. Go to ACIM.org or flip open your book. You can go to ACIM.org, search special relationships, see what the Course says about special relationships, egoic relationships, where we search for something we think is missing within ourselves, outside of ourselves. We look for it outside of ourselves, which is looking in the wrong place, which is a futile exercise. So the Course seeks to help us change our special relationship, our external relationships, with a holy relationship, an integrated relationship, which is defined by what is within us. So Metatron here, thank you for the comment. Metatron says, don't read out of the book. You have been rehearsing. But I need to live life, travel, meet people, others. Yes, of course. I travel all the time. A keen observation, Metatron. It's true. This is just our daily review. This is not the entire program at all. There is much travel involved. There is much travel involved with many people. So, yes, you are correct. But it is not rehearsed. The only rehearsal is engaging with it for the past 25 years. That's the rehearsal. And yes, I am reading it as a spark, as encouragement for you to read it. I'm also suggesting you should read it, of course. If you've been listening, been paying attention. So I do agree. You are correct. Read it yourself and travel, experience things. This is the purpose of this live. This is the purpose of this text, of this workbook. You've hit the nail on the head. So, in a special relationship, it says, learn, you would offer him a crown of thorns, not recognizing it for what it is, trying to justify your own interpretation of its value by her acceptance, by his acceptance. Yet still, the gift proclaims her worthlessness to you, as her acceptance and delight acknowledges the lack of value she places on herself. Okay, so can we grasp what's being said there? The true value, true worth of ourselves, of everyone and everything, is within ourselves, is with the return in consciousness to the source, to the beginning, to the foundation, to the first, to the primary, to the prime creator within us. So it continues here, gifts are not made through bodies if they be truly given and received, for bodies can neither offer nor accept, hold out nor take. Only the mind can value, and only the mind decides on what it would receive and give. And every gift it offers depends on what it wants. It will adorn its chosen home most carefully, making it ready to receive the gifts it wants by offering them to those who come unto its chosen home, or those it would attract to it. And there they will exchange their gifts, offering and receiving what their minds judge to be worthy of them. So making a distinction here between consciousness and the body. Where can true gifts be given and received? Only in the spirit, only in consciousness, which is the gateway, the doorway to the spirit, our mind, our thoughts, our cosmology. So the Course here is offering a reinterpretation of the Christian cosmology, which it calls a universal curriculum. It is the individuation process that Carl Jung points out, the revealing of the unconscious portions of the mind to the conscious, bringing up the unconscious to the conscious, looking at the shadow elements of ourselves and our culture, the collective unconscious, right? The individuation process, as outlined by Carl Jung, same thing being discussed here in the Course in Miracles, which was written and is presented by two psychology professors from Columbia University. So a bit of a psycho-spiritual presentation here in the Course in Miracles. Mythology, esoteric teachings, mythology, dreams, symbols, all important to be reinterpreted, to be reformulated, to be reintegrated, to be remembered. So each gift we give, the Course says, is an evaluation of the receiver and the giver. So it's going in a little bit deeper here to the what it calls the philosophy, the actual teachings of the text here. It's going a little bit deeper. So again, I would suggest you take a look at it yourself, read this yourself. I am going to skip to the last paragraph. The ideas being discussed here and the themes being developed are developed throughout the entire text. The Course continues to repeat again and again and again. The same ideas. Your perception, my perception of the world outside of myself, is a reflection of my own thinking, of my own thoughts. And the Course says, forget those thoughts. Forget your own thinking. There is a higher order of thinking. There is a higher mind. There is a higher consciousness that can be encountered, that can be, that will subsume me, that will subsume my consciousness, that will integrate my consciousness into itself. Why? Because I already am a part of it. I already am a part of the mind of God. Simply need to acknowledge it, surrender to it, remember it, accept it, integrate it, embody it, so that I become it. So it's communication with a higher mind, acceptance, allowance, recognition of the truth of being, by seeing it not only in myself, but in everyone and everything all the time. So I have to practice forgiveness. I have to practice giving up my own way of thinking, my own assumptions, my own premises. And ultimately, we can skip right to the premise that I am not separate from the source of my own life. Okay, I'm unified with the life of the universe. And if I just turn myself over to that life, allow that life to live itself as me, one, unified, attuned in vibratory concert, harmonized with it, my life will heal itself. My life will unfold, develop, and progress perfectly from its current state to a higher state, a better state, a more enjoyable state of being, a joyful, happy, content, loving state of being. So the last paragraph here says, here is your Savior and your friend, released, okay, the world, everyone and everything, anyone who I encounter throughout the day. Here is your Savior and your friend, released from crucifixion through your vision, free to lead you now where he would be. He will not leave you nor forsake the Savior in his pain, and gladly will you and your brother walk the way of innocence together, singing as you behold the open door of heaven and recognize the home that called to you. Give joyously to your brother the freedom and the strength to lead you there. Give in order to receive. As I perceive the world outside of myself, I am perceiving myself. There is a psychological and spiritual difference between extension and projection. Projection, I think I'm getting rid of something I do not want, but I cannot get rid of something within myself except from within myself. The only thing that can be extended is what is real. The only thing that is real is love. That is all that can be extended. Love and its derivatives. Love and its multitudinous forms. Yeah. Give joyously to your brother freedom and the strength to lead you there, lead you home, and come before his holy altar where the strength and freedom wait to offer and receive the bright awareness that leads you home. The lamp is lit in you for your brother, and by the hands that gave it to him shall you be led past fear to love. Okay, fear not, there is no fear. The Son of God is free. I am at home now. Fear is the stranger here. There is nothing to fear. Fear is a false idea about myself. Fear is a false identification with who and what I am. So there is nothing to fear. So that is a quick summary of a portion of the lesson for the day. Chapter 20, section 2, the gift of lilies. Okay, offer lilies, offer forgiveness to everyone and everything. It's what the Course is encouraging us to do in order to heal ourselves, because as we give, so shall we receive. If we condemn, so shall we be condemned. To him that hath, more shall be given. To him that hath not, even that which he has shall be taken away. These hard sayings of Jesus, as they are called, are parables and allegories of the laws of consciousness. As you sow, so shall you reap. As you think, so shall you experience. Okay, so thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the likes, the gifts. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for being here on the earth, helping us to move forward, helping us to do the work. Thank you. Peace and blessings to you. I will be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. Or go check out the YouTube channel. Click around, leave some likes, leave some comments. Go follow on the YouTube channel and follow this account. Thank you again. Peace and blessings. Love you. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.